crazy.
That's what I was looking for.
What was that?
Super Mario Brothers by laser
Oh.
disc.
Oh my God. We knew it.
Yes, I knew it was you were a fan.
So, Sonic the Hedgehog earned $57 million over its opening weekend.
God damn!
Whoa.
If you count it as a 3-day weekend, it was actually a 4-day weekend. It was President's Day.
That's true.
So it actually hit $70 million over that holiday weekend.
Wow.
Which is
I
really
respect
good.
Mm-hmm.
Really good considering like that's number 1 for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beating Birds of Prey. Which
everything's beating Birds of Prey.
well,
Birds of Prey.
I didn't think it was that bad.
No, a lot of people didn't.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't
But-
see it.
But Sonic
You guys
was
enjoy?
good.
Okay.
You would enjoy that movie.
You a hater.
You would.
You a real hater.
You ever hit
Just
Sonic some
so
bad
everybody
movies, though?
knows, real quick, before you continue, Stikz, BigChoco over here, if he says the movie is aight, that means it's bad.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because this guy loves everything, man. He loves everything.
I don't love everything.
Yes, you do, man.
No, I don't.
Pretty much.
You saw the Phantom.
You're pretty. Yeah, Phantom.
Your
Remember that
audience
movie?
I stand by it.
Yo,
I don't care. You cannot stand by that.
I stand by that movie.
no,
Why?
And I enjoyed it when I saw it.
The only movie I ever walked out on in my life.
Dude,
So I will never.
I went, Reggie,
What's the Phantom?
Reggie and everybody in the chat. I went to go see the Phantom with Big Chalk in high school. We went to a matinee. What was it, $4?
I can't remember.
And I felt like I got ripped off. I wanted to walk out so bad, but I'm like, dang, $4. You know, in high school, I didn't have a job or nothing, man. I'm like,
$4 a lot.
Yeah.
It was mad cheesy. I don't
But
care.
that movie was bad.
Well, Sonic the Hedgehog is highly being regarded as from most of the reviewers,
The Savior.
the best video game franchise movie to hit the
No.
theaters.
Super Mario Brothers. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I was about to cut your mic off.
I'm like, that's it. This is over.
I was about to cut your stream. I was about to be like, yo, guys, we don't have a guest anymore.
There's something went wrong with Reggie's connection.
Everyone likes to chop it down and say, well, it's not a high thing to do to be the best video game movie. And I'm like, all right, first of all, most of the people complaining about the movie had not seen it, and they don't want any video game movie to be
They hate
good.
it. Right.
So
They
they
hate
can
it,
continue saying no video game movie is good.
Mhm.
But these are the same people who don't ever want to see them
Mhm.
and don't want it to be successful.
Mhm.
So
Right.
now,
Haters.
AKA haters.
well, Detective Pikachu was regarded as a great movie also.
Mhm.
Good to great. People enjoyed it more than hated it.
Question, though. With Pokemon,
Mm.
did the anime come first or the game?
They both came out at the same time.
Okay.
So you can say...
Right.
I always go with it as a cartoon first.
You could have said that it's an anime or a video game. So this being what it is, obviously Sonic is
The official.
definitely a video game. So now you can't there's no debate now whether it's an anime
Mhm.
or a video game franchise.
This-
Lately though, the recent movies that have been video games have been getting much, much better.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that Tomb Raider one. I don't know. That was a little iffy.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
like
didn't see-
it.
I
I
didn't
didn't watch
the
that
second
one to
one.
see if it was any good. I haven't
I
seen
didn't
that one.
like her as Lara Croft. She was a little. She was tiny.
Oh,
She was a little too small for the part. I didn't mind the movie. It wasn't bad, but she wasn't believable as
Laura
Lara Croft.
Really?
She was acting fine,
Mhm.
but she as her build and everything wasn't believable as like a
She was
tough
tiny. She's
individual.
tiny.
She would get thrown around like she can get her ass whipped.
Isn't
Yeah.
she like UFC? Like a? Did she ever do like that shit or no?
No.
She's just an actress.
No.
Okay. I thought it was
She's
like.
an auto act.
She's just a small actress.
Yeah.
But a lot of people forget about Rampage with
Mhm.
The Rock and everything, and that was I liked that movie.
Mhm.
That was an enjoyable movie.
That definitely was. That
And
definitely was.
it,
I saw it on
nobody
the plane.
even brings it up as a video game movie, and it's Rampage.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was a good one. People like to discredit Silent Hill for being as good as it was. It wasn't the best.
I enjoyed it at the time. I'm
Yeah,
afraid to see it again.
The first one was
No,
good.
the first and second parts of it, there's three parts of a movie.
Mm.
First and second parts of that movie were unrivaled as one of the best atmospheres in
I
a
remember
movie
being creeped out as
cinema
fuck. So
based on a game.
Yeah.
It was directly like the game.
Mhm.
Then that third chapter really threw it off because it really went like crazy. It didn't have anything to do with the game or anything. So that's why people don't like to mention that movie.
Mhm.
And then there was the sequel, which people don't want to talk about.
I don't
Nope.
remember. Yeah.
I don't like that.
But the thing that Sonic, like Pikachu, I liked that because it did have its own charm to it, and it was good the way it ended and all that. I'm not going to talk about it, but the way they did and the effects and everything and the money thrown to it, it really did a good job at portraying that world. But there was a certain charm about Sonic that really won it over and wanted you to like root for it. And I'm glad that, because with the design of the way it was at first, that charm wouldn't have been in the movie.
Exactly.
So it's hard to describe how that movie would have been if they kept that Sonic in it. It would have been laughably.
No, it would have failed.
It wouldn't. You wouldn't have.
It would have failed.
Clicked with the character.
Honestly, it would have failed.
And I don't know, like, if they kept the same script and the same way the movie was with him looking different, I don't know how I would have felt. Maybe I would have been like,
And no, the appearance matters, man.
He really did look
such
bad.
such iconic character design and an iconic character. You fuck up the character, no one cares what the movie's about.
I can imagine those teeth and those eyes
Yeah.
portraying that emotion.
Yeah.
And the first character of
He looked like me as a hedgehog.
him.
He looked
You
like
can't have a movie with me as Sonic. Shit don't make no sense.
He looked like he was sick.
Yeah. I would have felt real bad for Sonic. I was like, man, I really feel bad for you in this world. You don't look like Sonic.
Like, oh,
this
he's
is what
sick.
Sonic would look like in America.
Got to go to the
Like, no.
hospital.
So, but no, the way they did it and the way his eyes emoted and everything and his voice and everything, all the acting was great in it. It was fine. Everybody was like, oh, the trailer was bad looking. And like, listen, don't talk about the movie if you haven't seen it because you don't mean anything if you're just saying, oh, the trailer did this. You didn't see the movie, don't say anything about it. But
Do you think?
What's that?
Do you think they should have got Jamil White to do the voice of Sonic?
Yeah.
No.
Did I do that?
No,
I want to hear
People
that.
wanted him to be like a cameo in the movie. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah,
if he was in
Yeah,
the
that
movie
was
as
cool.
like a store clerk or something like that. That
Did
would have
I
been cool.
do that?
But I think that they would the voice actor that they got to do it was great as him.
Got any
And I think
cheese?
Got any cheese?
What?
I don't know.
I think he was.
I don't know. But there are like Dr. Robotnik was amazing in it. Like,
Really?
Jim Carrey was great.
Wow.
And I think that connection between old school Jim Carrey when the Sonics came out and you were younger, that connection, seeing Jim Carrey back as like Liar Liar and like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, seeing him as that type of Jim Carrey again brought those emotions back. So it helped you click with that character more. And obviously Sonic in the 90s clicked there too. So it brought you back to that time period, which is why a lot of the older people who saw it enjoyed it, enough. And the kids don't know much about it, but the whimsical acting that, the voice actor who did Sonic did and made Sonic feel like a child, that made the kids love it too. So I think that it's going to be a big, big success.
But what does this mean now for video game movies in the future?
It means they have something to like.
They might not be so scared to make a movie.
Well, they got
but-
Mortal Kombat coming out next year, right?
Yeah, and
So-
just for the record, like, I know you guys hated him, but you can't talk about video games movies without talking about Resident Evil.
You can.
No, but the fact of the matter is,
No, they made money.
they
They
made
money.
They did.
off a $288 million budget, they made $1.233 billion.
No, it made money.
Those 6 movies.
That's
Yeah.
still going to
Which is
probably be the
insane.
most money that a video game
Yeah.
movie is going to make, unless it's $1 billion.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going
It's
to.
like Fast and the Furious is a popular series, makes a lot of money.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Are
make
they
it a
going to get an
great
Oscar
series.
for freaking best movie?
Oh my God!
They're
I
not
saw the trailer for the new movie. I was like, dude, man, like,
Oh,
what is going on?
with the
No,
the vine?
they just don't care.
Now he has a brother.
They-
Like, come on, you're like that.
They
No,
just
they-
don't care.
It's
anymore.
out of control
No,
at this
it-
point.
Yo, I can't
It's
wait to see
out
it.
of control.
I'm here for
You
the
know,
ridiculousness.
you know what? If it's funny, if you think of it as like the next superhero movie franchise,
It's basically the Avengers with cars.
yeah,
It really is.
it really is.
Well, listen,
It's the
you
Avengers
know how
with cars.
you know how superhero movies started out not that good. Like you had Dolph Lundgren as like what was he? He was
I love that
Punisher.
movie.
But
As
it wasn't
Punisher.
I
viewed
love
as-
that movie.
It wasn't viewed as bad though.
It was
I
very
liked it.
bad.
No, I mean like
No, it wasn't.
viewed like that.
I love that movie.
I enjoyed
Captain
my favorite
America, like the original.
Oh my God, Captain America was
Captain
worse.
America's a better example.
I've never forget,
Yeah.
like,
original ones.
That was
No.
horrendous.
Not
He
First.
kept getting beat up.
Fantastic.
Oh my God.
He kept getting his ass kicked all the fucking
But-
Yeah, about Red Skull, and Red Skull grab his shield and beat him with his shield and everything. I'm
Yeah,
like, come
man.
on, man, you can't do that to
Yeah,
him like
man.
that.
But my
Beat up with his
point
own
being-
weapon.
My point being, though, those started out in a bad area, and everyone thought about comic movies. They said, "Oh, this is this bad Spider-Man with the like like netting over his eyes. Like
Mhm.
all those were terrible.
Yeah.
And then it took a movie to break that cycle and say, oh, this is our new storybooks. These are our new like our new Disney stuff. And it's funny because Disney bought them. But these are our new stories like Grimm's fairy tales and stuff. These are all the things we can go off of because all of these books are here. We have all these stories. Let's make some money off them and treat it correctly.
Mhm.
Yep.
So now with like The Witcher and like all these other types of books and games and stories, they're starting to see them like how epic they are. And I'm just waiting to see how long it's going to take for an actual like Final Fantasy trilogy movie that's based off of that, but not based off the game so much, but like a Lord of the Rings type Final Fantasy movie that's taken seriously, and to see how much they can make off of something like that, because our generation has been waiting for it. And seeing Sonic this way, and so far a
paving the way.
success.
Paving
It's
the way
paving the
for
way for somebody to say, okay, now we can invest some more money in something like this instead of treating it like a joke and like
it's
an Ubo movie.
Yeah,
So-
no,
It's a
it's
step
very,
in the right
It's
direction.
a step in the right direction. First
Yeah.
of all, it brings Sonic back, who's had a lot of rough games lately, also back into the limelight, and he's probably one of the coolest mascot characters. So it's like it's awesome. It's really good for other companies to be like, hey, maybe we can do a video game, a movie based on our game, and maybe like a Metal Gear or like I don't know, like Zelda
of Us.
eventually. Last of Us. Like
Done
stuff
right,
like that.
those will be amazing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, but the thing is, it's all about execution. It's got to be pulled off the right way. Like we were saying before, if it was the old design of the Sonic, we would not be having this conversation.
Exactly,
This
exactly.
conversation. So you have to pull off. You have to have smart people like who know about the franchise, who know about the history of the franchise, the lore, and they have to have some sort of input in that movie being made, or it's going to be a complete disaster.
Yeah,
And they
because
have to care.
at
About
this
that.
They have to care.
at this point in time, it's like it's our generation that grew up with that stuff. We're the ones making the movies now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're the ones writing the script, so it's like there's no excuse.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you
know
have
what I
to
mean?
do it the right way. You can't
But
have
they
somebody
have to
who's
have
like,
a line though.
Yeah.
They can't make it just like the game to a certain extent. You have to make it a successful movie 1st, but you can't change it so much that it's not.
you have to,
It's like a-
it's a balance.
You got to have some.
Well, it's like
nostalgia in
a-
there, man.
it's
But
like
it's
a
not
re-
like even a Sonic movie. It's not like the storyline was Sonic is after he's trying to save the he's not trying to save little animals in robotic suits. Like that's not the storyline of Sonic.
Right.
Like this is a totally different story. It has nothing to do with the game for that part.
Mhm.
But they have little nods in there
just enough.
to make you see
just
that this
enough.
is that world. But
Well, it's like if a developer's doing a remake, you have to take the franchise and you have to look at especially if it's like another developer that has nothing to do with the original publisher or whatever.
Yeah.
So that, they
This movie,
yeah.
sorry, I
No,
didn't
go
mean
ahead.
to-
No, go for it.
by it making this much money,
Yeah.
this is good, really good, because now now that it's on this string of like making money and everything, they're probably look at making more games and everything like that. Games that we probably would like to see, a sequel to Sonic Mania, more 2D Sonic something. That's why this kind of stuff, like this movie doing well, like this is really great.
Mhm.
I haven't seen it yet. I plan on seeing it. And going back to how they changed the design of Sonic, that shows how they cared and they listened to people. That's because a lot of Hollywood doesn't usually do that.
That's true.
I'm glad
they
you said
ignore
that.
you. Yeah, they will not do that. So they actually listen to social media and they changed everything around, which is great. So that shows that they care.
Mhm.
So I think this is a start of something really good. If a lot, especially with video game movies, they could do this. Listen to constructive criticism, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's what I just wanted to put out there for you guys.
No, man.
that's-
Actually,
that's
I'm glad you
perfect.
said that because that's exactly where I was going with that. I was gonna say that, like,
You can't make any of these movies
No.
without listening to the fans
exactly.
of where it's coming from.
Exactly.
If you're just some guy who's just got this job, I make movies all the time. I know how to make a good. But no, you don't know shit because
Yeah.
you don't know anything about that lore,
Yeah.
that character.
And that's what happens when with the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, you don't know about it. You make something like Mario Bros. Even though that's Radical Reggie's favorite movie all time. I mean,
No, I thought it was Double Dragons.
the Double Dragon. Oh no, that one hurt.
what's worse?
That one
Worse,
hurt.
Mario or Double Dragon?
That one hurt.
That's the
'cause I
real.
Double Dragon
love
is worse.
the. Oh,
Double
I can't even
Dragons
watch
is
the movie. That's how bad it is.
Oh,
I
it's
can't
so
go through it.
bad.
Double Dragon is Street Fighter.
No, Double Dragon.
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon is
Double Dragon.
hands down.
Double
Yeah.
Dragon.
Double Dragon is
Fighter
number one
good.
worst
You
movie.
have, like, you look at it as a comedy.
Yeah, that's how you get through Street Fighter. You look at it as a comedy. Double Dragon is just bad all around.
Yeah,
nothing. Just
no redeeming qualities.
Nothing.
But getting back to Sonic, the fact that they did listen to the audience did come through that first weekend at least, and they said, "I'm going to see this because they changed Sonic."
That's good.
Yeah,
no, that's,
even if because I mean they probably would have seen it anyway, just to laugh at it or something. But the fact that they changed it. They did say, and including me, I said, I'm going to see it the first day because they went out of their way to change the Sonic. They didn't have to do that.
You know,
I wanted to show support. And a lot of people show support.
It's a good sign on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, like you guys reached out, said, change the shit. It's ugly as fuck. We did it. You came out and saw it and you loved it.
You know, there's a lot of people who, you know, back in the day where they would sign all the petitions and stuff. Oh, I want this change. I want this change. And then they would sit back and laugh and don't go see it.
Dude.
Like they wouldn't support it.
Yeah.
So people, that's why they see this stuff and they're like, I don't care if 1 million people sign this. You guys aren't going to show up anyway.
Right.
So why should I change it? But now we're showing them that it means something.
That's good. It's a good sign.
Dude, what if it was like if this was the promotional a marketing company?
Oh, they would have
like
been
if this was their idea
genius
to do. It's
genius.
They're not getting paid enough. like